Hello and welcome to the Gooners podcast open mic post-game show. I hope I can be heard. This is an unusual setup for me. I'm out back of the Four Courts pub in the Ireland's Four Courts pub in Arlington, Virginia, which is our home supporters club pub. If you're in the green room right now, please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. Cool. I'm on somewhat shoddy internet, so if this turns into a cluster, we'll just end it, but I hope not, because we got a lot of good people actually in the red room, not the green room. We've got a 4-1 victory against Leeds. Can't remember the last time we scored 4 goals. That wasn't like West Brom in the League Cup, although Leeds kind of was about as strong of a side today as West Brom. But we got a lot to talk about, hopefully mostly good. I welcome anyone to try to find, a negative to talk about today if you possibly can. We'll get a little psychological delve into the mind of someone who might just not be able to be happy. But I'm looking at the people in the green room, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a happy bunch. So we're going to start right off with we're going to do things kind of in a first come first serve, but we're going to give a little bit of preference to those for whom it's nighttime. So we may go just a bit out of order here, but we're going to start with Alonzo. Alonzo was in here like before the game even started. No, my friend.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I mean, first 7-8 minutes, we're like, okay, well, Leeds is getting a little bit. I mean, this has kind of been what we've been doing the last few weeks, though. It's like there's like this little kind of, it's like the first round in a boxing match, and then we just absolutely pounded them.
Yeah, and it's like kind of funny because you try to figure them out, right? And trying to find out their weaknesses. But I think fair play to Leeds because it was a tough lineup for them because they had, I think, two guys, a lot of injuries and I guess COVID, something like that. But to have them come out and play with not a full team, basically 9 players that were kind of healthy, I guess, and then they come out and didn't play. Fair play to them as well. Anyway, but back to Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, it was a quite performance that we've been having lately. I mean, we scored first, but we don't never know when the second goal is going to come. But Martinelli had a great ball in, and the second ball in from Jacques was pretty cool too. I mean, we give Jacques Smith grief, right? Because he's too slow and he has his weaknesses. But he had a great ball in the second goal from Martinelli there, and so yeah, I'm kind of proud of him for that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it was a cool performance.
Yeah, I mean, again, when it comes to Xhaka, I say this over and over again. My issue with Xhaka is less tactical than it is personal.
Right.
I am, as Andy likes to call that special kind of asshole who just makes big deals and takes everything personally, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, no, I don't like the guy, but I mean, look, you got to recognize game. Game recognizes game, and
right.
Which was your. And I just love that this is a topic of conversation finally after such poor offensive outputs over the last 12 to 18 months. But which through ball did you like better, Xhaka's to Martinelli or Odegaard's to BSR?
I like Xhaka because I expect that from him, right? Where Xhaka, it's kind of rare that he does that. So I think I give Xhaka a little bit more leeway because it is Xhaka. Well, Odegaard is just he's a number 10, right? So you expect that from him every so often, every other game, right? But Xhaka is the through ball it was impressive, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, just an amazing through pass, and what I want a constant theme for me today, because Alonzo, I don't know anything about tactics. Like I'm the dumb guy that somebody asked to do a podcast because I make dick jokes, and somehow 6 years later I'm still talking about Arsenal. So every once in a while I try to like hop onto some sort of thing that I've noticed, and the latest thing it has been the heat map. I've been talking over the last couple of weeks about how literally every one of our goals seems to be coming up the sides from the fullbacks, playing out the back, which is good, up the sides, and then around the corners. And our heat map is kind of look like a big donut where there's nothing going on in the middle of the pitch. Against Southampton last week, I had talked to the fellows at the pub that I was at that, we never kind of attacked through the middle. Mm-hmm. And then just then Lacazette had a through ball to him and he had a heavy touch on it and didn't get a shot off. Today, completely different story.
Yeah.
Is that more about the opponent, or do you think it's the players that we have kind of learning some new approaches so that we don't just constantly have to dump it out wide and cross it back into the middle in a cutback?
I think it's both, Mike. I think that we're finally realizing that we could do good things through the middle, and I think that's why we brought Party in to help us stabilize through the middle. Yeah. And I think whenever you
got to stabilize this table, it's rocking back and forth. Sorry about that.
Let's see, having a Lacazette also in the previous game, the through pass to Martinelli also is kind of cool to see. And to see that ball bend a little bit also from the passes is kind of cool as well. But yeah, I mean, I think in the past we've seen so many crosses through the fullbacks. It's kind of different to see the pass go to the middle. We used to whenever Cesc Fabregas was there with Robin Van Persie or whomever it was striking up front.
I mean, obviously,
dimension finally.
The sign of a team that is going to overpower teams on a regular basis is that they can attack and approach from any direction, find the weaknesses and do it that way, not just constantly playing one way. I think Arsenal have obviously started to discover some ways that they can do that. And frankly, to me, the key to that success has a lot to do with Lacazette playing the way he does in the middle. So Alonzo, we're gonna move on to the next one because this has got to be a bit of a short show today. I got my daughter's coming home from uni. I didn't bring the bell today, but my daughter's coming home from uni and gonna pick her up from the airport. So my technical director here, my buddy Ryan, is fixing the table because it is wobbly. He's doing a fantastic job. He's my Baba Booey. But for those of you who know what that means, but Ryan, thank you. That actually worked. Ryan, let's bring you on real quick. Even though he said he didn't want to come on. So
that's okay.
Okay.
No, come on.
Okay. I'm dragging him on, but Alonzo, we're gonna let you go, bud.
All right, see you, Mike.
Take care, man. Hopefully see you next week.
All right, see you, dude. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. The Lord Ryan Lordos is in the house. Here. It's good to have you here. Thank you for helping with the table. Thank you for rubbing my back earlier.
I do what I can
when I needed it. My wife came to the pub today. My beautiful, lovely wife came to the pub today, and yet the back rub I received was from him. That's just how.
That's what friends are for.
Yeah, that's what friends are for. All right, so real quick, and this is a sensitive mic, so I think we have to. I'm a sensitive mic, but this is a very sensitive mic. Just man of the match for today, and then I'll let you go because I know you don't want to be doing this.
That would be Gabby Martinelli.
That's
no question. Call, it is an easy call. Even I can do that.
I mean, Martinelli was being called by a lot of people the man of the match against West Ham, but you really couldn't help but recognize Lacazette's performance in that game. But today, talk about like announcing yourself to the world. If you aren't an Arsenal supporter and you didn't really know that much about this Gabby Martinelli, who apparently his coach didn't rate, preferred Willian to
his commitment,
didn't appreciate the 19-year-old's commitment. Now he's 20 and until he's 21. But he's made his announcement to the world today.
Oh, the energy today was amazing. And the composure, that second goal, into the box, gets tripped up, settles himself, and the chip was fantastic. He can hold off defenders exceptionally well.
He can. And look, if you don't think that he's as good or better than Thierry Henry right now, I can actually understand your point of view. I'll accept your point of view, but I'm telling you, he's already better in my book than him. And
maybe at that age,
at that age,
I think that at that age,
yes. Well, that's understood.
At Juve.
I think that's understood that's what I was talking about. But anyway, Ryan,
just to clarify that for everyone.
We'll let you go. Thank you for breaking your Gooners podcast, Doc. And we're going to move on to our next.
I might come back again.
Yes, please do. It's been great to have you. So, all right. So let's move on here. Let's talk about this whole heat map thing because I actually have the heat map, and to do that, we're going to bring on a man the man that has seen me eat perhaps the worst steak I've ever had in my life. The weird thing is there's 3 people in the waiting room right now that could apply to, but no, there's really only one. Daniel Robert, wearing the bloody kit today.
I
It's your
like
bloody
it.
kit. The bloody
That's my
kit.
favorite kit.
And I'm wearing the tube seat, like the cloth seat on the tube that you sit on, kit. But this kit is 3-0 in the last 3 games. And so it's glad to see. I'm glad to see that you're feeling better. Your cough is gone.
You say I'm feeling better. I took the booster last night. I was awful this morning, and then at 5:30 I was awful. Arsenal cheered me up. I'm completely better.
Oh, hell yeah. Remember those weekends when like you used to like kind of be having a shitty weekend, and then Arsenal would actually cheer you up instead of like I was having a good week until the game. This is kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm loving life right now.
I know. I mean, you might have to start going watching the U23s at Meadow Park because you stroll down the road. I mean, just see the next Saka and ESR come up, and the next Alex Iwobi, who was the big superstar at the time I went to see the U23s there. But Dan, you're well. Let's talk about the heat map, and then we'll get to your comments. So this is the show where you can say whatever you want to say, but only once I stop talking. And that doesn't happen very often. So where is it? What did I do with it here?
I must admit, I don't know too much about heat maps, so we'll see how this goes.
I just love this concept. Okay, this is the heat map against West Ham. Very similar heat map to Southampton. Now we're attacking to the right here. So essentially you're seeing, it almost looks like an X where, we've got the defenders out wide here on the left side and then the attack. And you can almost see how it almost connects because there's through balls or cutbacks coming in from the side. This is the heat map against Leeds today. I mean, it's more concentrated, it's more compact, it's more through the middle. We didn't really play a ton out in the corners. Neither one is good nor bad, but I just think it's important to, for me once every 3 years to try to act like I can observe things about football and actually take it in, because this was a very, very different approach. Was that more about the fact that Leeds was just, putting out a Sunday league team because that's all they had from injury, they
weren't great. It was a bit unlucky for them, but they still had an older team, an older 11 than our team. So I know we've been playing together for four games in a row.
My son's travel football team is older than our team, and he's 18 and he's the oldest one. It's crazy how young our team is. 4 goals today, average age 20,
and it's just so exciting. I think I saw a stat. We've scored 27 goals this season, and 23 of them have either been scored or assisted by the Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and it's just lovely to see it.
Imagine if we should Arsenal just forget about the Premier League and just really go for the U23? Like we could win every single trophy in the U23 level right now.
But even under 23s, we've got some good players coming up, and it'll be interesting again to see who's going to be the next Saka, the next Smith Rowe. And one comment I want to make about Arteta is that he took ages to kind of get Martinelli playing, and now we see Martinelli I wouldn't say his best. I'm sure there's a lot more in him, but Martinelli has just been phenomenal. And the same thing happened with Arteta to Smith Rowe. I think everyone was calling Arteta's head, why isn't Smith Rowe playing this and that? Then that Boxing Day thing happened. He played then, and now Smith Rowe is the player he is. And I think the same will probably happen with Balogun.
Yeah, I've been guilty of like at some point last year. Put Balogun in. He's amazing. I see him scoring all those goals in the U23s, which he's now doing again. But I think I've learned my lesson from the 2 players that you've just mentioned. I'm hearing a lot of talk from respected sources, meaning, my friends who also podcast, that this is proving right, the fact that Arteta should have been playing him earlier. I'm sorry, but I'm one of these like people that believes in the time-space continuum and the, from Back to the Future. Like if you can't just import current Gabriel Martinelli into the squad last October when we were suffering and having no production and playing Willian instead of Martinelli and just assume that it would have turned out the same. You can't just take Saliba and Guendouzi, specifically Saliba, look at his performances in a Marseille against Nice game and say, oh man, we would have been so much stronger in defense if we had him on our team, because every element of it is different.
And that's why I trust in Arteta. I trust his say on these young players.
I can't help but agree with you on that. I mean, look, you're entitled not to, he almost lost me with some of his personnel decisions, with some of the things that just seemed so obvious. Why aren't you playing Martinelli instead of Willian? Why is ESR, like some of these things that he's done seem to not make many sense. And frankly, because he is kind of learning on the job a bit, some of them probably were the wrong decisions, but not all of them. And so I'm not going to look back. And this was one of the talking points I wrote down. Not going to look back on Martinelli and say, what did we miss out on? I'm looking at things now, and I'm not going to give Arteta the credit and say, wow, you managed things perfectly either. I'm just going to enjoy the hell out of this because he is on fire.
And the thing is that Martinelli is now keeping Smith Rowe out of the first 11, and that's such a great dilemma to have because Smith Rowe is on fire as well.
Martinelli is, Odegaard is. I mean, Smith, and I think personally, Smith Rowe is fine being in the position that he is right now. I mean, sure. He wants to start, but I think he's mature enough, despite his young age, to get the fact that you don't change up a winning formula right now.
No, keep it as it is. Keep the same 11.
Someone's going to get COVID. Now we know that
Lokonga and Pablo
Lokonga had it. Now Pablo Mari's got it, which changes things up for Tuesday night. He's not going to be the last. So things will happen, and he'll get his spot back,
of course,
and more than likely, challenge and keep either Odegaard or Martinelli out of the squad, and that's what we need.
Exactly. Smith Rowe's doing his bit on the bench. It could be in a few weeks' time. It could be Saka there. It could be Odegaard. It could be Lacazette. Whoever it is. But I'm happy the way we're going because
that's good. And that's good for them in the long run because while we're not playing 2 games every week because of Europe, the next month or so, if these games do actually go on, we will be playing a couple games a week, and we need to keep these guys fresh. So, if it's Odegaard for 60 and ESR for 30, and then the next game it's the opposite, who can complain about that? As long as we're winning, and we're winning by a lot.
And
so
points on the board is so much better than games in hand. So
absolutely, I mean, points on the board are points in hand. I like points in hand better than games in hand.
And we are 5 points off Chelsea, so it's not too far away.
I think that I think that the way things are going, we are going to be first in the league. It's just that we'll be done, and the other teams will have like 14 games in 14 days in May. It'll be an incredible TV event. 14 games in 14 days, and then we're just going to be sitting there all done. Like, stop the count, please. Stop.
Exactly.
Let's just end it now. All right, Daniel, I don't know if I even need to ask this on a day like today, but man of the match.
I Martinelli, it has to be. Although I do think Odegaard was quality.
Nice.
Martinelli.
We had some one of my oldest, longest, I should say, term Gooner friends from going to the pubs here in America wasn't thrilled with Odegaard's game today. Until Odegaard gave him no choice but to until that through ball. But I think Odegaard's doing nothing wrong.
There's one negative I have about today.
Is his name Cedric?
No, I thought Cedric was all right. Bear in mind, he's not played for months.
Okay,
he's hear your negative. Right back in the world. No, there's our good centre back Benjamin. I don't really know what he was doing for that tackle.
Yeah,
but it's better that it happens in this game than a game where it really counts.
And it wasn't a red card, which was fortunate. He really did cost his goalkeeper Ramsdale a clean sheet, but I doubt they'll be too worried about that with a 4-1 victory. That was a moment of absolute Xhaka-ness. I
was gonna say Xhaka was. To be fair, Xhaka was good in the first half, but then it takes something small. So in the chat, it takes something small like a rash challenge where I think probably should have been sent off.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear. I don't know if you can hear. We're undercover and it's absolutely pouring here. I'm glad that there was this covered area. So if you hear some background noise, that's what it is. But Daniel, we've got a couple people waiting and going to move on to them. It's always good to see you. We'll come over here and I'll cook a steak for like 9 hours until you can't even cut into it anymore. When you go to
it will still be better than that.
If you go to Weatherspoons, some great deals there. Get the scampi. Do not get the steak. That's all I got to say. So, all right, buddy. Take care.
See ya.
All right. All right. Next, we have joining us for the second consecutive week. We have Max. Max, welcome to the Open Mic Show. Hair's looking good as always, and you're nice and suited up in the great, what is that? A warm up jacket. What do we call it? What I call it is something I don't fit into. whatever that range of products, because there's just no reason to at this point.
Whatever works, Mike. Whatever you want to call it, the warm up jacket, the warm down jacket, whatever it is you want to call it.
Your victory jacket. It's your victory jacket.
Yes, I've worn this jacket for every Arsenal win we've won after the Everton game. So it's kind of been my good savior. So I'm going to continue wearing it.
There's 3 on the trot for this one, and so I'm going to keep it going. So, all right. So we got a lot of different things we could talk about. Ben White was touched upon by Daniel. If we want to pick up on that, we can. Do you have any comments on? Other than that play, was he particularly impressive for you?
I'm going to start with the negatives because I'd rather get the negatives out of the way before I start praising how well we played. I think Ben White giving away the penalty, I think that obviously lowered my sort of score of him in terms of like player ratings after the game. I think he was good in the first half, and up until the point where he gave away the penalty. I think that's dropped him down to a 7 out of 10 in terms of out of performance wise. He was an up and 8 up until that point, and then obviously gave away the penalty stupidly. I thought Granit Xhaka was right up there with man of the match after and I know everyone knows my thoughts on Granit Xhaka. He was right up there with man of the match up until the point where he questionably he could have been sent off. And he made a rash challenge and all that kind of stuff, and everyone knows at Arsenal that's what Granit Xhaka does, and I literally saw that and I'm like, welcome back, Granit.
My favorite tweet about that, as always, the immortal James McNicholas Gunner blog, whose comedy just I love it. He says if Granit Xhaka had made that tackle that Granit Xhaka just made, he would have been sent off, because everyone always says like, if Granit Xhaka made that tackle that Rashford made, then it would have been a red. Somehow he stayed on the pitch though, and I honestly, I have to admit, I didn't see it. I know I sound like Arsene Wenger there, but I didn't see it. I wasn't watching it at the time. I think I was tweeting or some stupid thing like that. But was it bad? Like, should it have been a red? Or
what? It was definitely a yellow for me. It was definitely a yellow, especially the tackle itself was a yellow. The time wasting event that he was doing with I think it was Click. I think it might have been Click. I think it was a bit reckless and a little bit Granit Xhaka moment hearsay. But I think the challenge was definitely a yellow for sure. If that's a yellow, then the Tomiyasu challenge is definitely a yellow for me. That's how I look at it. Especially when the same play goes over and basically I think it might have been Reinhardt. I think it might have been. Definitely challenges Tomiyasu and puts his stud into his boot. So I think both of them were worthy of a yellow card in my opinion. But that's hearsay, and I think Aaron Ramsey would have loved to clean sheet, obviously, but. As you said quite clearly, I don't think he's going to be too disappointed because we did win 4-1. I don't think he's going to be too disappointed in that. I also want to touch upon obviously the good moments of the Arsenal game as well. I think personally for me, I think everyone's. I've said I think Martinelli got a 10 out of 10 performance for that, definitely, because I think he was just unplayable. He was just. This is what we've been wanting from our wingers for the longest time. This is what I've been screaming at Pepe to be doing constantly, and he refuses to do it. And I think personally for me, I think I think that the best that we've seen of Nicolas Pepe is when the ball gets played in front of him and he can run at defenders. And I've been saying that for a very long time. And I just don't think we've been playing to that man's strengths since we've had him here. And people have been saying, oh, we should sell Pepe and all this other stuff. But also, let's also not forget that he got 22 goals and 11 assists last season. And this is the thing, right? And I think he deserves more of a chance. Is he going to get into his Arsenal team at the moment? No.
He'll play Tuesday. He'll play Tuesday, and hopefully he'll show us what he has. But I mean, he may not be happy in that position. But Pepe, again, sunk cost is the 72 million. It matters none.
That's not his fault, though. That's not his fault that he's worth 72 million.
It's not his fault, and it should have nothing to do with whether and when we play him or sell him. It should be a decision based on does he have a future in the team? Is he marketable to other teams? Unless he is disruptive or discouraged to the point where he becomes a problem, I don't mind having a guy like that be on the bench. We clearly wasted money on him, but that money was wasted 3 years ago. It doesn't affect anything anymore.
And also, this is the other point I want to make, Mike, is that if you look at teams like Man City, if you look at teams like Liverpool, and you look at teams like Chelsea, there's no problem having a quality player on the bench. And like everyone says to me, we should sell.
Riyad Mahrez can't get in the starting 11, and when he does, he's fantastic. And then when he doesn't, I don't hear him bitching about it.
And the same with Sterling. Sterling can't get in the team either. And that's just down to the brilliance of the front three at the moment. Like Jesus is obviously keeping people out of the team, and and this is the thing. This is what we've been screaming about as Arsenal fans, to have some sort of competition and have some sort of accountability. So if you're not playing well, someone else is going to come in and take your spot. I mean, and I also want to quickly touch upon. I think.
All right, we got to make this the last point before we move on, because
I'll quickly wrap up as well, because I'm sure there's a lot of people waiting. I just want to say that I personally, for me, Martin is head and shoulders above in terms of the man of the match. I think Granit Xhaka, Odegaard as well, Saka obviously deserves a shout as well in terms of he was right up there, but it wasn't quite as good. And I think Lacazette led from the front as well. I think Lacazette deserves his kudos. And if you're a Aubameyang, or if you're a Aubameyang, you'd be going, well, this is what I got to compete with. And I think personally for me, he does come back on the bench whenever he ends up deciding being. But I think personally for me, he's got to work his way back into the first team, and that's just my opinion on it. And I also want to quickly say, I've donated to Gooner versus Cancer as well, Mike.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic foundation. I've donated my hard-earned money to make sure that people get the medical treatment that they need. As someone who's also known a lot of people, especially over here in Australia, that has had cancer and all that, it's a very fantastic sort of charity and all that kind of stuff, and it deserves its shout out and kudos. And one more thing, Mike, I want to ask you real quick. Is okay. I'm planning on visiting America very soon, actually, very, very soon, for reasons that are personal, but also I'm more that's also coming to watch Arsenal games as well. I'm planning on visiting, I think it was Wisconsin. I think I'm pretty sure okay. And I'm just wondering if you know any Arsenal pubs or around that
Absolutely.
sort of area.
Whether you're going to Milwaukee or Madison, or if you're near Chicago, I'm the guy that can hook you up with the right people depending on where you're going, because I do have a lot of good friends in Arsenal America. So wherever you're going to be, DM me on the Gooners Pod account. Let me know, and I'll connect you with some people that'll embrace you like family when you come to visit, which is exactly what I love about this fan base. So
right, thanks very much, Mike.
Come visit, Max, and thank you so much for what you said about the charity. That actually was going to lead me into talking about the shirt, but I got to get on a guy who's actually in a pub drunk in Leeds right now, and he's also very old, so we don't know how much time he has left. So we're gonna put on Fergus. But Max, love to you in Australia, buddy. Take care.
Thanks very much. And Mike, I just want to say that I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning to watch this game, and I'm just saying that I can go to bed and I can go whatever the rest of my day feeling happy and confident, just like the Southampton game as well. I can go to bed feeling, especially the West Ham game, which I thought was the best performance of our season, to be fair. And go and be comfortable and happy for the rest of the day. It's a great feeling, and
it's a beautiful way to start the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, and as I said, nothing beats a winning feeling, especially getting the 3 points on the board and being ahead of certain teams that were screaming at the top that they're going to be title challenges. Which I won't mention.
Yeah, we'll get rid of them. All right, buddy, take care.
Take it easy.
All right, let's see how long this lasts. Fergus, where in Leeds are you right now? This is all this is going to be, I guess. Fergus in a pub.
I can't hear you. Two seconds. Let me go back.
Okay. I kind of figured that would happen. All right. So Fergus clearly couldn't wait to start eating. All right. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you very well. Just having some food in the palace near the hotel we're staying in. Myself and Potsy have just watched a rampant Arsenal rip Leeds. I can't say it too loud because I'm on Leeds, rip Leeds and new Arsenal. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Was Dan happy?
It's been brilliant.
Dan
when you want to talk to me,
Fergus?
hang on 2 seconds. I'll have to talk and then I'll have to turn my camera off and put it to my ear because I can't hear nothing. I didn't bring any earphones with me. But it was brilliant in Ellen Road, proper old school stadium. Leeds fans 3-0 down, singing Bielsa's name. Fuck me. You know what? Arsenal fans need to look at that. And it doesn't matter who's in charge. He's your manager. You support him. They trust their process. Fuck me, Arsenal fans. Trust our process. Whether you like Arteta or not, get behind the manager, get behind the team. They sang and sang and sang. And as you can hear, we counter-sung them. I'm going to turn my camera off to my ear and I can try and listen to you, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about one thing that Daniel, Robert, and a lot of others have been talking about, which is, did you see, observe, or hear any of the alleged racial abuse of?
Nothing. I spoke to Princess about it, and she said that Rob Holding had went back to the fourth official and said that there was some abuse coming from them. We're behind the dugouts, and to the right on the corner is where we were. And you couldn't really see much. You couldn't even really see them warming up. To be honest, where I was, I missed the first goal. I turned around to Potsy and said that was never a penalty, and the pillar was in the way. I never saw the first goal properly. So, it's a really old stadium. Pillars are in the way. The view is difficult and everything else, but a great old stadium. Great old stadium.
I was gutted when we drew Leeds in the League Cup while I was over there, but it was home. Like, I literally would have much rather have gone to Ellen Road than taken the game in at the Emirates. But
Mike, myself and Potsy nearly come unstuck. 10 Leeds versus 2 of me. Me and Potsy going, I'm gonna swear, and they're going, we'll knock you out, you Cockney. See you next Tuesday. I did. I got, you Cockney this, you Cockney that, and I turned around and said, sorry, mate, I'm Irish. Does that qualify? Do I still get knocked out?
Well, judges better be careful so he doesn't get battered everywhere he goes.
Battered everywhere he goes. Yeah. We don't sing that song anymore. We say follow the Arsenal everywhere we go. Follow the Arsenal everywhere we go.
I did not kick him out. That was him. All right. Well, your live correspondent in Leeds, clearly having a good time. You gotta love it. Away days are the best. Maybe if Dan wants to join in, he can. We have a different Dan that's going to come on now, though, and joining us also from across the pond from me, if you will, Sir Daniel Bailey. It's always good to have you on, my friend.
Yeah, it's good to be. It sounds like Fergus and Dan are having a great time in Leeds there.
Oh man, they were. In our group, in our chat group, they were posting pictures of them with the double pints, like. Lee Judges drinks half pints. These guys were drinking 2 pints. They looked like essentially like pitchers of beer, except it was in a pint, like an enormous oversized pint glass. And I know Fergus, one beer and he's done. So those guys have to be having a great day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you didn't make it up there, but I know why you didn't. And you're a smart man. You're a smart man.
Yeah, it's what it is with all this shit going around. I was just like, do you know what? With Christmas coming up, I don't want my Christmas ruined. Anybody that catches the old thing now will have to isolate over Christmas. And I was like, I can't really take that risk. So it was just, it's gutting because I would love to have gone to Leeds away. And if it had been After Christmas, I wouldn't have given a shit. If it had been any other time, I wouldn't have given a shit. But that's what happens when you're married. You know what I mean? You have to sort of give and take. You know what I mean?
You do. You're living the dream. But all right, so despite not being able to be there for it, what a result. I mean, this is 3 in a row now that we have never really looked like dropping points in. And while the league's kind of spinning around a little bit, we're just zooming up the table. I mean, is this really happening, Daniel, or do you think that we're just kind of in a purple patch and we'll drop back down to earth?
Look,
the age-old question of have we turned the corner? I mean, every time you don't want to say yes because then we have an Everton situation.
Yeah. Do you know what? Every time we think we've turned the corner, we always hit a brick wall just around the corner, and then we end up like monster truck style going backwards. So yeah, it's. Do you know the thing is we have to keep winning our games because Spurs and Man United have got games in hand. So if we can get a nice healthy lead while they're fucking around getting their games called off and all that, then it doesn't matter.
I don't know that they're
honestly,
around.
I mean, come on, like seriously, like Spurs just probably looked at it and gone, do you know what? Can we just pull this COVID shit because we're going to get battered everywhere we go and everyone we play. So can we just, just like it's just mad, absolutely crazy. So yeah, let them just get their games abandoned. Do you know what I mean? So while we just rock up the table, and then it doesn't matter with all their games in hand because they're just going to, they'll probably lose them. Listen, Spurs got Liverpool tomorrow. Let's hope Liverpool can do a number on them, which that'll be nice to see. So yeah, we just have to keep winning our games, and right now we're doing that. And I still have a question mark over whether we can beat the better teams, because in fairness, Leeds looked all over the place today, and they had pretty much half of their entire squad missing.
But getting in this kind of a groove though, and just the muscle memory of finding different avenues of attack than what we're used to doing does kind of put you in a better position, perhaps. I mean, I earlier this season, up until about a month or so ago, I would have said, and this is hated around the Arsenal fan base, but I would have said that games away at Liverpool and Man City were free hits in the sense that you just wouldn't be expected to win them, but we had to beat the teams around us. We had to beat Everton. We had to beat West Ham. We had to beat teams below us, and as long as we do that, we get into Europe. We don't challenge for top 3. We don't show that we're on their level yet, but one step at a time. I don't think that. I think the next time and what's our next game against a big team? Man City.
Man City on New Year's Day. Emirates. Yeah.
You never know, man. You never know. We might we might be on a high from 2 more good performances in between now and then, in addition to a League Cup game. Yeah. And if everything falls into place, we might give them a game.
I think it all depends on what the situation is. If we go into that Man City game behind closed doors, then I think Man City are going to storm us. If we go in there with a crowd, then I think we've got a chance. But we have to beat Norwich, and we have to beat Wolves, and we have to beat Sunderland. If we can get to a semi-final,
give us a little fixture congestion in February, but you know what? I'll take it.
But if we can get to a semi-final and be in 4th place going into the new year, I think most Arsenal fans would have taken that. I certainly would have taken that. Listen, whether we finish in the top 4 is a different story altogether. But to be there and to be in with a shout, I think that can only do us wonders. And I'm really impressed with the way the team's playing at the moment. I have a little concern over whether we can do that for 90 minutes. We saw ourselves come out for the second half today, and we dropped off and let Leeds back into it. And then with the penalty decision as well, let Leeds back into it. I kind of felt that was a bit unnecessary pressure on ourselves. So we need to kind of cut that out of our game. And certainly, when that's happened against the bigger teams and the better teams, we've been punished. You know, we got away with it today against Leeds, and we got away with it at Leicester because we've done the same thing at Leicester. But we're always not going to get away with it. And I tell you what, Martinelli is absolutely impressing me. This kid is something special. I seen it on Wednesday, and I've seen it before, but I've seen it on Wednesday, and today he's proving why he should be in the team, and he's taking his opportunity. Listen, he needs
Now,
a Bamberg at the moment.
Which side in our chat group that we're both in? We've got half the people saying, I mean, everyone's enjoying it. Let's not make people out to be miserable, because they're not. But like, there's still this, Arteta should have played him earlier. He's proven the manager wrong side. And there's no, I think actually he's been managed perfectly, and he's blooming just at the right time, and kind of held back like one of those animals that's their feet are just running and running and running and running, and you hold them about an inch off the ground. I think I used this analogy on Wednesday, but then you put them on the ground and they just go. I mean, he is now full go, and we just don't know that he would have been 6 months ago or 12 months ago. So I mean, how do you think this reflects on Arteta, that Gabby Martinelli, someone who had some difficulty getting into the games, is now performing so well?
I think when you look at Arteta's rolls of the dice this season, 9 times out of 10 he's getting them right. So the same thing happened in that Palace game against with Lacazette. He brought Lacazette on, and obviously he got the equaliser, and then Lacazette's been in the team since then, and he's been playing really well. Martinelli, obviously Aubameyang's got his issues, and the club have got his issues with Aubameyang. It's like watching a bad marriage breakup with Aubameyang and Arsenal right now.
He's gone as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and then it's like Martinelli's like, well, I'm here, so just play me. And actually, he scored twice today. He scored on Wednesday. That's 3 goals in 2 games, which is not bad. Do you know what I mean? Not bad at all.
No,
and,
I mean, we got goals from a 2 goals from a 20-year-old, and 2 goals from 21-year-olds. I mean, phenomenal actual realization now of our youth. It isn't just youth that's kind of showing spots of dazzle. It's youth carrying us to 4-1 victories now. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. Daniel, gotta let you go because we got a couple more people waiting, and I've got an early cutoff time today. I'll see you in WhatsApp. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. And big up, guys. Keep liking this channel, guys, and subscribing. Brilliant channel. Does great work for Gooners versus Cancer. So come on, get behind it. Get behind it.
And give out the name of your channel as well, mate.
Yeah, so my channel is Daniel Bailey TV. I've been a bit kind of sporadic of late because life's got in the way and everything's just taken over. But listen, I'm going to be back with content. So yeah, please do head over there and subscribe. I'm almost hitting that 2,200 subscriber mark. So if I can get over the line, that would be great. But yeah, listen, Mike, it's been a pleasure as always.
All right, mate. Love you. Take care, Daniel.
Cheers. Take care, man.
And speaking of Gooners versus Cancer, before we bring Rich on, Rich, who has been waiting very, very patiently for this, before we bring him on, I do just want to mention this is what's going on with Gooners versus Cancer right now. We finished the 2021 campaign, but we're doing kind of an off-season type of thing where we have what I think is, I might be a little bit biased because this is maybe the most important point in my childhood, but it commemorates an incredible situation at Anfield '89. I happen to think this is the most unique and incredible piece of Arsenal memorabilia that exists in the world. So not sure what's going on with my screen there, but so take a quick minute to watch this, and then and Rich will be on when this video ends.
Good ball by Dixon. Finds Smith. The top charge to the midfield. Thomas. It's up for grabs now. Thomas. Right at the end.
How do I follow that, Mike? How do I follow that?
I mean, I don't know what's better, the shirt or the editing masterpiece that is a 48-year-old who learned how to use editing software. I'm not going to say I learned how to edit because that would involve that that would imply I did a good job with that, but who learned how to use some software and became a little dangerous with music about 6 months ago. So I don't know. I mean, second prize is you get lessons on creating videos from me, but as a man who's gotten a shirt from Gooners, not from Gooners versus Cancer, but from some dumb guy who gave out a shirt.
There was liquor involved
shirt?
because
would you want that shirt? Would that be something that would
hell
look good on
yeah.
the wall?
I mean, I get chills just listening to that commentary. And in 1989, I was a 16-year-old kid in Northeast Ohio who had no idea who the hell Arsenal was.
I was a 16-year-old in Northwest London who did have an idea who Arsenal was.
Well, see, there's where we. But you know what? It doesn't matter because Arsenal has brought us all together.
That's right. I mean, if you don't know, if you don't at least know about that situation, then you need to go back to Arsenal school.
Right.
But in any case, that is and the story behind it is almost as good as and we'll get back to the game in a second. But I mean, it's not just that existed and we went out and got it or anything like that. Alan Smith, at my request, because he is the nicest, most generous person I've ever met, as far as like in the group of people I consider heroes of mine. I talked to him about the idea and asked him if there was any chance. I mean, I knew 3 of the 4 people on the shirt. John Lukic is the only one who I didn't have contact with. He's like, "Oh, Lukey, I can get Lukey to do it. Send me the shirts and leave it with me."
I can see Smudge doing that from what I've seen from different podcasts, over the last few years.
I mean, he doesn't have to do that. He's got job obligations. He's got, he's not necessarily the personality that Kevin Campbell is, where like an everyman, like just join one of the crowd. But he's always supported the cause. He's always been very supportive to us. I thank my lucky stars that he continues to be. I try not to screw that up every single day. But he basically just came back to me after 4 months and said they're on their way, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so we have, and just so those 4 legends took the time to write the script and write the parts that apply to when they had the ball on that famous night and sign it, and it could be yours. We're going to take 500 entries. There's already about 20 that have been claimed. We're just kind of gradually offering it out, and as soon as we hit 500 entries at $25 an entry, somebody will win it. Could be you. So, speaking of entering something, we've entered the top 4, and it doesn't look like we want to leave.
No, we don't. It's great. I love this winning thing, and I know earlier in the season we, when we were terrible, pitiful, lost 3 in a row. There were comments like, "Oh, wait, Arteta out." I was like, "No, we're going to give him till Christmas." I said it, and I think I said it on this podcast. I'm giving him till Christmas right now.
Because there's nothing better than ending someone's career on Christmas.
Right.
We gave you until Christmas. It's Christmas. Bye.
Bye. Well, he started his career at Christmas, so what?
That's true. That's true.
But I mean, this team has responded. They have turned it around. I mean, the kids are great. Love the kids. Now, before I came on, I was listening to Highbury Squad, and they were doing player ratings, and they got to Cedric.
Yeah.
And honestly, I put it in the chat there, and I don't know that it was acknowledged. It may have been seen, but I would trust my 14-year-old daughter who plays left back and right back before I trusted Cedric.
Yeah, I think Sophie gave him a 0.
Yeah, it was like, I'm like, wait, he still plays for us?
I was fully expecting to see Maitland-Niles come on, and
he must have been in the squad, I guess.
Yeah, I subsequently learned that, but let's see what kind of rating he got, because one of the websites I love to go to is whoscored.com, because they just really have like good live ratings. And let me see if I can. I got to look very carefully at that. I think Cedric got a.
They gave him a 6.1.
Yeah, but that's just because he wasn't in long enough to get something lower.
Because he didn't do anything terrible, but
it starts at a 7. it starts at a 7, and like the more you screw up, the more it goes down. But Martinelli with a 9, you do not see a 9 very often.
No. I mean, Martinelli, I don't know. He just, it's like couldn't get in the team, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, I'm going to go score some goals because apparently Aubameyang's going to be an idiot, and I'll just take his place.
I remember when Martinelli said when he first came that the person who was most welcoming and gracious to him and kind of made him feel welcome and wanted was Aubameyang. It's ironic that 2 years later, year and a half later, or 2.5 years later, 2.5 years, Martinelli's
taking the guy's job.
He's 21 years old. He's been here for 2.5 years already. Like,
right.
I mean, who's like a world beater at 18? Like Mbappe was,
right? Yeah,
world beater at 18. There's Haaland, I think, was 19, but like, I would rather, and it's easy to say now, I get it, but like I would rather say, you know what, Arteta might have made a mistake by not starting him earlier, than say like Arteta ruined his career or Martinelli burnt out too early, from injury and from having more in front of him than he could handle. If you've got a gem, you protect that. You overprotect it rather than underprotect it.
Agreed.
And the problem is when you're protecting him at the expense of starting a guy like Willian instead of him. That's what made it so much tougher. I mean, if we had an informed Saka on one side and Smith Rowe on the other side with Odegaard in the first half of last season, which we didn't have because Odegaard wasn't here and Smith Rowe wasn't transcended.
Even thought of.
If we had had that, no one would have been complaining about Martinelli starting, but it was because it was Willian instead of him that they did. But the past is the past. The present is the present. So,
hey, the future is so bright. We got to wear some shades.
We got to wear shades. Except I'm like undercover.
Yeah, I see you're undercover. Yeah, the weather here is just about as crappy as there.
Yeah, it was supposed to be overcast, but it actually started dumping on us. So Rich, we got one more to go, and then I'm gonna get out of here. It's good to see you. I'm sorry I kind of dominated a lot of our talk.
Hey, happy holidays.
But hopefully on there'll be a Boxing Day version.
Hopefully, yes.
And hopefully a victorious version. I mean,
absolutely.
If we can't win that game comfortably, then what are we doing? We'll just end it now. I just hope that there will be a game. That's all I can say.
I agree. I let's play some games.
All right, man. Merry Christmas. Take care.
Same to you, my man.
Take care. And Daniel is in the house, buddy. How you doing, mate?
Hello.
Hello. We're calling from
Lower Suffolk.
Suffolk. All right. All right. That would be south of London, correct?
No,
Suffolk.
actually.
Oh no, it's not.
North of. Like basically on. If you look at
south of Norfolk, though, probably.
Yeah. If you look at England on the map, and to the like to the very edge on the right, that's where I am.
By like East Anglia, that area.
Yeah.
Okay. So
near Norwich,
Ipswich, that area. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I love English geography. I just don't know Suffolk. I was thinking of Sussex. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, your thoughts on the game today? You're the last guy in open mic. If you've been watching, please, and you want to come on in the future, come to GoonerOpenMic.com. But
yeah,
I mean, so much to say about today's game. What do you want to add to what's already been said?
Overall, I thought very good. Very good performance, especially from Martinelli and Odegaard. Like we were in control for about 60, 70 minutes of the game. And then Ben White has to bring down their striker. I don't remember his name, but I thought, oh no, what have you gone and done that for? And then we looked a bit shaky, like for the next 5-10 minutes. It was a good game, but let's just keep building and building, game after game. Let's not overhype our players, which I feel that which a lot of our fan base do, like when they have a good game, and then that puts a lot of pressure on them to keep keep going. ESR, what a player! What a player! Like coming off the bench and scoring a goal. Like he's one of the best cams in the league. And to be fair, we do have the youngest squad in the whole league. So, and
the youngest squad, and it's the young ones who are carrying it. I mean, it's other than maybe Lacazette at the moment. It's just unbelievable what these 20 and 21-year-olds are doing.
Yeah, and I don't know what your thoughts are, but I would push to get Lacazette signed for at least another 2 years. But I think he wants 3, don't he?
I think he wants 3. I don't know if 2's ever been discussed. I know that we wanted 1. I wish it would be 1. I mean, that's gonna. I don't think we've seen a final decision made on that yet. I'd like to keep him around, but I would not want to keep him around for 3 years. I think that would end up with in a situation.
Yeah,
not
3, but I would accept 2.
Yeah, and if we don't, as long as there are players that have some of the same, maybe I don't know about their leadership traits, but the same kind of tactical traits that he has, and are younger. I was in favor of bringing in Tammy Abraham and shipping him out if that was going to be the case over the summer. That didn't happen. If we can get younger without losing the unique things that he brings to the then I'm all for that. And because we really do have to just start when people approach 30. I think unless they are a really unique specimen like Cristiano Ronaldo or something, we need to say, you know what, we're gonna move younger, and we have more younger people now pushing them up and allowing them to do that. So it's happy days, man. Who would you name as man of the match other than Martinelli? Like, if you can't choose Martinelli, who would have been your man of the match today?
Possibly Ødegaard.
Okay.
Ødegaard or Saka.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you
there's not that many to choose from, like from my viewpoint, but I would say Ødegaard.
Yeah, I mean, and defensively, I mean, just yet another.
Or possibly Laka.
Yeah, and Gabriel is starting to really stake his claim. I think the job that Gabriel's doing, you're starting to not notice him that much, which is exactly what you want. Because there's just you don't breathe as heavy when there's an attack coming. I'm feeling so much more confident about this team, and it's amazing because we to go from so far down in the dumps after Everton to seeing what this team is capable of doing with a good win and with a good win in the middle of it. It's not like we've beaten the 19th, 20th, and 17th teams. We have beaten some teams in Southampton and Leeds that were very poor, but you can't take that West Ham victory away from us.
To be fair, because it's Leeds, I didn't think that would do that well today. Because it's a difficult place to go to. I remember last year I think we lost against Leeds.
I think we destroyed them at home and then lost when we went to their place. If I remember correctly.
So, overall very good performance, but let's not overreact and let's not
So you don't agree? You don't agree when I say that Gabriel Martinelli is better than Thierry Henry? You think I should kind of slow down a little bit?
I actually didn't hear that, or I don't know if you're just joking with me, but
no, I like to get overexcited for the sake of getting overexcited, but it's just exciting to watch.
Yeah, Gabby, definitely my man of the match, and was the official one. And second place would be definitely a tie between Odegaard and Saka, because like they played astonishingly well. But yeah, like let's just keep like building and like take each game as it comes. And I'm not I am like some people may go ballistic here. I am in the Arteta out camp, but I'm not because today he did get it right, but like I'm not.
If you're Arteta out, if you've said and feel truly that he should be out, but you're willing and hoping that you'll be proven wrong because you kind of know that he's not going to be sacked, I got all the time in the world for that. I'd love for people to gradually say, you know what, I'm seeing something's changed. So have my feelings, instead of being like in this one camp or the other.
And for me, we have to at least get the Europa League. We at least have to get that. Otherwise, we then may have to let him go, because I do want to see progress. And if we do not finish in Europe again, then where's the progress?
I think it would be very surprising at this point to see the team turn around so badly that we sink back into the 8th or 9th type of places. And I would agree with you, if that happens, it's clearly for a reason that you can't just keep saying, well, judge him again by next Christmas. Judge him again by next Christmas. Daniel, we're gonna wrap up there, mate. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. We'll be hopefully doing another open mic after the League Cup on Tuesday, hopefully into a semifinal. And so thank you to everybody that joined us today. And that is it. So, mate, take care. Enjoy. And come on, you Gooners.
Yep.
Mike Brook, the chairman.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Mike Brook, the chairman.
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
Fucking hate Tottenham. 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 Tottenham get battered everywhere we go. They go. Tottenham get battered everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
Gooners podcast is undefeated. Hello, welcome to this special National Football Museum edition of Match of the Day. We've got a treat in store for you today, a classic match with a very special commentary. And this is who we had in the studio. Hello there. It was a commentary I'll never forget. Let's see what you think.
Thanks, Gary. We've got a massive FA Cup semi-final replay between Arsenal and Manchester United. It's 1-1 in extra time. Everything we played for. This is Mike, Magic Mike in the house. All I know is Tottenham will get that everywhere they go. Let's rejoin the action. Gigs, this could be a good opportunity for United. Let's see how it develops. I don't like this at all, I must say. Great run by Ryan Giggs. Oh, shite. Absolute shite. Look at that ridiculous chest and stomach hair. No one should be taking their shirt off when they look like that, unless they look like me with their shirt on. Big strikes after 109 minutes of football. The only solace that we've got as Arsenal supporters is that Tottenham got better everywhere they went. And some fans are on the pitch and they think it's all over. And, it's hard to argue with that. F Manchester United. Come on, Arsenal. Time to head back to the studio.
How much more romantic could you get? We've got church bells, dead people. I think Danny's taking me here to make sure I don't go home tonight.
You're filming.
4 o'clock?
And all is well.
All is well until I become one of these statistics.
Oh, there's a big hole over here I need you to get in. And then if you just lay down, and I'm going to get some mud.
And all of a sudden he can shuffle.
Yes.
Is that what those wrenches was? Did you take both of those wrenches inside, or
may well have one in my pocket and I'm going to hit you across the back of the head with it.
Oh my God. Please, my name is Mike. No. I'm 48. I have a family. I haven't seen them in a long time, but I still do actually love them. And I hope I don't become one of these.
Murdered.
We won the game.
We did win the game, mate.
We battered the team. Look, I mean, fucking we're better than most teams.
I mean, who?
Always play that way.
Emilio who?
Emiliano.
Jimian who?
That guy sucked.
He sucked that.
I could have scored a goal past that motherfucker. No, I thought.
He's got a strong left. He's got a strong left foot.
Did we win?
We won.